Klein and Memphis Sounds, helping to preserve the music legacy of the Memphis Music Collection here at the Central Library. That number is 415-2833. As we say, rock on, Memphis. And we're rocking on with that legendary drummer on Memphis Sounds, Mr. DJ Fontana.
Hello, George. How are you?
Elvis's original drummer. I'm pretty good, D.
Good. So am I.
DJ, always used to tell me it was Don Juan.
Don Juan, George. That's what I go by.
But it's really what? Donald Joseph?
Dominic.
Dominic Joseph.
It's a real Italian name.
From Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yes.
All right, now you were playing behind a curtain when Elvis was coming down to play the Louisiana. Tell us all about how you got with Elvis, DJ.
Well, it was at the Louisiana Hayride down in Shreveport, and back then, the country artists really didn't like drums. First,
right.
They just didn't like them for some reason. So Elvis come in, and I had been piddling around walking through there, and he said, "Would you work with us tonight?" It was him and Scotty and Bill. I said, "Well, sure I will." You know.
Yeah.
So they had this. It wasn't a black dark curtain. It was one of them shears, you know. So I was back there playing, and the next week he come back, and they said, "Well, come on out from behind the curtain," you know. And next thing you know, bring your snare drum. We'll bring your tom-tom. Bring this, bring that. It was one of those, just one piece at a time. Finally got the whole complete kit out there, and it really sounded good after that. Yeah. But that's the way it was back then. And
then Elvis was going to go on a tour through Texas and the South, Louisiana, and he or Scotty asked you to come along?
Well, both of them said, "You know, we got 4 days over in East Texas. You want to go?" I said, "Well, certainly I'll go." I had nothing else to do. That Saturday night, the old gig didn't, you know, there wasn't no money there anyhow. And we went over there and we come back. He said, "Well, we're going to go home, back to Memphis." And DJ said, "We don't have nothing. We may never get another job." That's what he said. I said, "Oh, you'll probably get something, you know." "I don't know, man. You know, we're not really doing too good. Just brand new artists, you know."
Yeah, sure.
So, about, I don't know, a couple weeks later, he called and said, "Hey, man, we got 10 more days in Texas. You want to go?" I said, "I'll go with you."
So that was the beginning.
That was the beginning.
You're becoming Elvis Presley's drummer.
It was just I was there at the right time.
D, you've always said that you were probably the only band in the world that was led by a posterior of a lead singer.
Yes.
Talk about that.
I was always in the back, of course. Scotty and Bill, they could move around, and I had to watch. I had to watch his rear end.
Yeah.
And especially when he started getting big and got noisy, you couldn't hear.
You guys didn't have the earphones and all that.
No,
like
we didn't have all that stuff you got now. And so I'd have to watch him, because I knew every move he made. If he was in the chorus, he was back to the verse. It just so happened I just watched. We all watched, because we couldn't hear. And we was led by a rear end, you know.
DJ, you've also said that perhaps Elvis didn't even need a drummer because he had such great rhythm pattern, which was one of his secrets in his voice.
He had the greatest conception of tempo that I've ever seen in my life. He played excellent rhythm guitar, first of all. But when he sang, he sang with a beat. You know, he sang with a beat in his voice. So he didn't really need rhythm. He could have done it without me. I'm glad he did.
You just melted together so good, DJ.
You know what it was? We were all young, and basically we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
You know, and we was all new in the studio, and we had nobody to tell us we couldn't play these things.
Yeah.
You can't do that, you know, like they do now. Elvis said, "You guys play what you want to play, and if they don't like it, it's too bad. We'll do it anyhow. If it feels good and sounds good, we're going to do it."
Yeah. And that's what you guys did in the studio.
That's why it felt so good, because he didn't, you know, tack us down and say, "We just don't do that."
Yeah. D, we got a wrap. Give me one more lick on those drumsticks there.
Da, da,
DJ Fontana, our special guest on Memphis Sounds, Elvis's original drummer.